Lean on us.
We are here for you.
You matter.
You are not alone.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? Not sure where to turn? The National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there for you 24/7. Call or text 988 or chat at 988sc.org. Whether you're having an emergency or you know someone who needs support now, they can help you take the next step towards finding hope and healing.
There is hope. 988sc.org.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Hi, this is Lori Johnson with Hancock Whitney Bank, and you're listening to Local Leaders, the podcast. Visit localleadersthepodcast.com for previous episodes or for information on appearing on the show.
Hey, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Local Leaders, the podcast. And today it is all about events. Thank God we are at a time where we can actually have events again. And the guy standing across from me, he knows a little bit about events. Mr. Jordan Smith, he owns Geaux Big Entertainment. And first, I want to welcome you to Local Leaders, the podcast.
Good morning. Thanks. Glad to be here.
We're fired up to have you here because if we like to do anything outside of podcasting in this place, it's party, right? So you're the man to call when we want to do that.
We have been known to throw a party or two.
Very good. And so before we sat down in these chairs and we let the whole world know, we have little pre-meetings here where we get to know people. And I really enjoyed having Jordan come by and kind of tell his story. You've been in the entertainment, I guess, business and the event business since fall of 2019.
So I DJ'd my first wedding in actually New Year's Eve of 2011. So 11 into 12. But Geaux Big itself was conceived, if you will, fall of 19.
Very good. And let me ask you something that's kind of interesting right off the bat. So you started out, you were DJing your first wedding, right?
Right.
And weddings are a different animal relative to like a birthday party or something, because this is an event that you cannot replicate later on.
Correct.
Like it's got to be right. It's also a very high stress event for the family and friend, especially the family and the bride or groom. And so you want it to be perfect, but obviously things happen, and one thing y'all do a really good job of at Geaux Big is you take steps to kind of avoid having the imperfect problems, right?
Right. Of course, there's ones you can't control, electronics and computers.
Weather.
Yeah. Weather. But we do everything on my side to help mitigate those problems. We do a very personalized service. Every bride and groom that comes through us gets a step-by-step questionnaire that we go through in depth. They get that sent out as soon as they sign their contract. We book about a year in advance, so they have a year to work on that. About a month before the wedding, we do what I call our music dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
And we go step by step, everything from the first song that I play while the guests are sitting down of instrumental music and background music, all the way to what they're going to walk out to when the reception's over and get into their limo and ride off into the sunset.
Wow. And is there, I would assume, and we'll talk about weddings first. So with weddings, there's probably an initial pre-meeting where you kind of get an idea of everything they're looking for. My question would be, would Geaux Big handle anything they needed handled from the rooter to the tutor, as they say?
So we have built a great network of wedding professionals, of event professionals.
Yeah.
We have planners that we like to work with that refer us a lot of business as well. We have decorators, we have mobile bars, we have florists, everything that you need from A to Z to put on your event, your wedding, your party. We have those preferred partners that we deal with. So, in the words of that I say every day is, I got a guy.
You got a guy. That's right. And interestingly enough, on your website, you actually have a list of those preferred partners.
Correct. We do
make it easy.
We do have a preferred partners list on the website for every area in Louisiana. We do events from Beaumont to Biloxi, Shreveport to Monroe. So have party will travel, but we have.
That sounds like a bumper sticker,
right? Hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So in every area that we have someone that we work with, we have venues in North Louisiana that send us a ton of business, and we travel up there, and we have our florists and wedding planners up there. We have New Orleans wedding planners, event planners, florists, again, just whatever part of Louisiana you're in, photographers, especially that, have a very defined area that they travel in. We have those all over the state.
Very good. So regardless of a service, either you can handle it or you have someone that can handle it.
Correct.
Pretty much. And you kind of may have beat me to the punch on this, but I was curious on the time frame you needed. So what's the least amount of time? Oof. Yeah.
The quickest that we put together a party was probably about a month. Somebody gave us a heads up, hey, our DJ just backed down on us, which we see a lot. People are overbooked.
Yeah.
And they don't have anybody to cover it. So we'll get a last minute phone call like, my DJ is MIA for some reason or another. We've gotten some stories.
I can only imagine.
Hey, my DJ is in jail. So yeah. Okay, let's not book that one.
Yeah,
but so
might
anyway,
be a problem.
We get the month heads up is where we're at on that. Just because we put about 15 to 20 hours into a wedding to build a playlist, to download the specific song that the bride requests, because a wedding is, like you said, is a very personalized service. This is the biggest day of your life outside of buying a house.
Yeah,
some people get one or two, whatever.
Right,
but it's a very personalized service that we go through with them. So it does take some time for them to get the information back to us. This isn't just like I show up and I'm gonna play what I want to hear, because it's not my day, it's your day.
Yeah.
So for them to get that is about a week. Credit, they already had their DJ, so their music might already be in their head, or at least on some form of paperwork. Transfer it over our paperwork. We start working on it, build it, and good to go. So to walk into a wedding a week before, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and the hardest thing to learn in business, is when you need to turn down business, and it is really a struggle to turn down any sort of money, and especially when you're a business that is family owned or self owned, and you need the money. So some people do get kind of overbooked or overwhelmed with that in chasing what it is that they're dreaming to do. Now, let me ask you, what would you say is the biggest key to the success y'all seen so far?
I think is perfecting that personalized service. It's going above and beyond and really developing a relationship with the bride and the groom.
Yeah.
So with my local brides and grooms, I meet them personally after they book within about a month or so, assuming we have the time.
Right.
And we'll meet for a glass of wine or a glass of whiskey and sit and talk and really get to know them. I want to know their story. First question I ask every bride and groom is, if we're going on a road trip, what's the first song you're playing? It gives me an insight into their music mind.
Yeah.
What kind of music they like to relax to and party to. My brides and grooms that are further out, we do a Zoom call instead of meeting in person, just for travel. But again, same question. I want to know how you guys met, and I want to know how long you've been dating and been together, and if we're going on a road trip, what are we listening to?
Yeah, very good and great question. To learn someone's taste in music. And
correct.
Unless they're like me, and man, you look at my playlist, you're like, what music do you like? You get a little bit of everything on here.
Those are fun though, man.
Yeah.
I can go from Earth, Wind and Fire to Led Zeppelin to
absolutely
to Boosie.
Yeah, that's right. I got a lot of Eminem on my phone, and people are like, you don't look like an Eminem guy. I'm like, oh, I'm an Eminem guy, trust me. Way back. Let me ask you this question. So why events for you? Like, is it just something you've always had? You mentioned it's been since 2011 was your first kind of DJ gig. Was it always something you kind of like to play around with?
I've always been in the entertainment world. The past 10 years, I was in the wine industry, and I did a lot of wine dinners and wine presentations and, liquor as well. We did parties and rollouts, and I always loved the party program process, and I guess being the center of attention.
Yeah.
And I'm, taking that, the love of throwing a party and my love for music, combining those, and just kind of this just came to fruition and fell in my lap and been rocking and rolling ever since.
Yeah. It's great to do something you love to do. And I tell people all the time, most people that are happy in their business and successful in their business would probably do it even if it wasn't a business,
right?
So it just goes to show your passion for it more than anything else. Now, we talked about weddings, but you offer kind of a vast array of services outside of that. What are some of the other things that you do?
So we do DJ, photo booth, lighting, up lighting, party lighting. So we do Christmas parties, birthday parties, quinceañeras. We do, again, have party will travel. You want to have a party because it didn't rain today? Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so photo booths, let's talk about those for a minute. That's an extremely popular thing right now.
They are.
And I think the advent of, Facebook and Instagram, especially TikTok, even nowadays, really helped with the kind of jump with photo booths. Of course, they've always been popular, but they didn't always have mobile photo booths. I mean, these were giant tanks, safes that you had to go to like Walgreens or something and take a picture in. And now they're completely mobile.
So are those.
Yeah.
My first photo booth was a tank.
No kidding.
On casters. It's like the ones you saw at the movie theaters where you fit two people in it, you squished up and you took some pictures.
Yeah.
And then we moved into the open air booths, which you can fit 10 or 12 people in.
Yeah.
And then now they have the 360s, which I'm not a fan of just because they don't print.
Yeah.
But again, your younger crowd is moving toward those because they do the GIFs and they upload straight to Facebook or Instagram or your phone or whatever.
Yeah.
But with ours, we do hard copy prints, which appease the older crowd because they want to take something home from whatever event they were at put it on the fridge. And then we also give whoever booked us a USB with all the digital copies on it so they can upload them to Facebook and send them where they need to go.
There you go. So you can get them the old fashioned way, or you can get them in digital form, or both, maybe. Now, let me ask you this. What is the strangest request that you've had? And I'm sure you've had some crazy ones.
Strangest
request. Any giant cakes, people asking somebody.
Nobody's jumped out of a cake yet. Probably the strangest request, I had someone ask me how long I would play for, and I was like, have money, we'll play. That didn't work out well. I played for 8 hours.
Ooh.
And I was like, I need a chair. Like so that was the longest one. But they were a young party crowd, some really cool rural Louisiana folks that had their wedding in a very nice barn, but a barn.
Yeah.
And we played till the cows came home.
Wow. And people don't realize, standing on your feet for that long will flat wear you out.
And there's a lot of music up here.
Yeah.
I ran out of ideas. I was like, okay, now we're taking requests. I'm out. Like, what's next?
Yeah, that's right. After 8 hours?
Wow. Run out of music. So.
Yeah, it's like put the Van Halen greatest hits or something, let it play on a loop. That'd be hard to beat.
So strangest requests, nothing really out the box.
Yeah.
Because we've done everything and anything in between. But as far as hey, can you
no cakes yet?
Hey, can you DJ with just a tie on? I'm out on that.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping for a cake story. I'm like, surely somebody's done that.
Discounts on cake booking.
Yeah, 100%. So you do the photo booths. That's a big part of what you do. Of course, with weddings, you can, although you have a group of preferred partners that you deal with, and you vet these people. That's important for people to know. These are vetted. These aren't start calling around the florist and saying, "Oh, this guy's available, so he's good." You check them out.
Every preferred vendor I've worked with at least 3 times. I've seen their work in person.
Yeah.
And developed a relationship with them to know what they're doing, what they're coming from, their level of expertise. Because you're right, I'm not just going to call up AAA florists like, oh, they're the first one I came across. Here's our preferred partner.
Yeah.
These are people that we refer business back and forth to.
Right.
These are people that we work with on a monthly basis, essentially. Because, we last year we did 102 events. And
wow,
have worked.
That is unreal.
We were very blessed last year.
Yeah.
It was a great year. But we've worked with these people in and out on a monthly basis, and we see their work, and it's the level that we're comfortable pushing and providing to other people.
And look, they're loving being a partner with you, because if you're doing that many events a year, you're keeping them busy, right?
We keep each other busy, absolutely.
There's no doubt about it. Now, another really important question about your business, outside of the length of time that, you do need some time to plan an event, especially when even something as simple as doing the DJ aspect, which by any means is not simple, y'all. It looks simple, looks like they're standing behind there with like a record player or whatever, or an iPod and just playing music. There's a lot involved in that, even down to the selections that people choose, the amount of time that you're standing. People don't realize that. I did a live event with a partner of mine this past weekend, and even standing for a couple of hours, you'll feel it in your back, especially when you're old like me. But yeah, you'll feel it. So 8 hours, I can only imagine the stress that puts on you just from a physical standpoint.
Yeah, it was. I am not a young man.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I don't remember when I was like 20 complaining to this.
No,
so
not at all.
There's definitely something to age that gets you, but
we get out there. We get out from behind the board. We get out. I'll dance.
Come on,
we'll do the line dances, and I'll get. We had a wedding on Friday, and I knew the family, been knowing them since 2015, and I got out there and I was dancing with the bride, dancing with the mother of the bride. We had a great time. So I get out, and I know pretty much in my head I can count where the music's at and when I need to get over to back to the board and start switching over. But I'll get out there and we'll have fun, and I'll get on the mic and we'll do shout and get crazy and do the line dances. But I'll get out from behind the board and get dancing and kind of move around a little bit, get some blood flowing.
Love it. Love it. Now, obviously, trends change. And so with events, it's all about, current trends. You mentioned it, the 360 photo booths now are kind of trending a little bit. Next week, that might go away. You just never know. But there are some things that event-wise didn't used to exist now. And I'm going to bring up one. So gender reveals, okay? Right. Huge now. I have 3 kids. That did not exist when my kids were born, thankfully, because that's just another expense, right? But now it's all the rage. I mean, they're shooting like cannons out with pink and all that. Do you get calls for like gender reveals?
Not so much gender reveals, but we do. I got for lighting for like a baby shower.
Yeah.
For an engagement party.
Yeah.
And so we are seeing some outside of the normal phone calls, bookings.
Yeah. For more trendy type stuff. And now with your lighting, take me through that. Like, because if I'm planning an event, and this is y'all where an event planner comes in really handy. When I look at planning an event, if I'm having a Super Bowl party, right? I'm putting some Fritos out there. I'm maybe cooking on the grill, and that's about the extent. And then friends can come over and I got a TV. But nowadays it's an event. People are really partying for these things. and they're looking for some professional services. So give me an example of some lighting things that you do.
So we did a at-home tailgate for the LSU Alabama game.
Yeah.
So we put up lighting out. We were on their courtyard. They had a U-shaped house and a pool in the middle. We put our up lighting out, purple and gold. Yeah. Really kind of lit up the area, add some ambiance to it, really kind of a good
cool
feel. And then once it got dark, we turned on our club lighting, and which is the moving heads and the lasers and all that. So, of course, LSU won that game, so it was a good party.
Thankfully, yeah. That would have been bad if not.
It would have been bad. We might not have turned on the club lighting.
Right.
But it just all depends on the atmosphere of what you're looking to book. Or looking to the kind of party you're looking to have.
Yeah. And you have everything from like disco balls and stuff like that for people that maybe,
we don't,
I don't know, Saturday Night Fever. Am I showing my age here? There's no disco balls no more. What's up with that?
Not so much disco balls.
Cindy got a disco ball somewhere in her house, I'll bet you. Disco.
Those are a little harder to hang, being that we're not at a venue, but 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
But our lighting is on a truss system, and we have the strobe lighting and the moving heads that have different graphics in them. And then we also do what they call gobo lighting.
Okay. Tell me about
which
that.
Which is a monogram spotlight. You see these a lot at the weddings.
Yeah.
The bride and groom will put their monogram on there, whether they want Mr. and Mrs. and the date, or they want their first names on there, and some sort of any kind of wedding.
Yeah.
And it's a stencil that we project onto the wall or the dance floor.
Cool.
For them.
Oh, that's awesome.
We do it for birthdays as well. Sweet 16, we did a big one a couple of weeks ago. And it was Happy Sweet 16 and the name of
I was about to ask you about Sweet 16.
The birthday girl.
Those are huge things now.
It was a big production. We did the cold sparklers, and she got a Land Rover.
Oh, yeah.
Big production.
I need those parents.
Yeah, right. I'm like, Mom.
Yeah.
I got screwed on this one.
Yeah.
Here's the farm truck.
Yes. Very good. And those are probably big deals for you nowadays, these parties, Sweet 16s, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Another thing that I wouldn't call it a trend. They've been around quite a while, but it seems like they get bigger and bigger every year.
They do. It's keeping up with TikTok and all these trends from all over the country and all over the world that, they're looking at their phone and they see they're doing this for this party and they want it, or they want this song that they heard on TikTok. So I'm searching and I'm like, I can find the clip that's on TikTok, but to find the whole song is a little bit more of a challenge.
Yeah.
But they see all these things, and my daughter's birthday's in a couple of weeks, and she's very limited, but on TikTok.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, this is what I want for my birthday cake." And I'm like, "No, it's not going to happen."
You're the event man. She ought to get anything, there's no limits
well,
for
it's
her
just like
in her mind.
Fondant and all this stuff on the cake. I'm like, if we're going to get a cake, I'm going to eat it. And
right.
You can't eat fondant. Well, I can't. I'm not eating fondant. But we do see the trends coming out of, the first dances, or what the Sweet 16 partier is going to walk out to in her big ball gown. And it's these TikTok songs, and we're just seeing a lot of that social media influence coming out into the music.
It's amazing. And, with, again, another trend, and it even works its way down to like cake decoration and stuff. You didn't used to could print out your own picture and put it on a cake, right? It was just the squirt flowers. And if you were good at that, it was a nice little cake and you could do a name. Now, like they're die cutting these things with family photos, or you name it. Cakes I've seen some pretty amazing cakes. I'm sure you have too, where it's just like 20 tiers and it's of the whole of Chaffalaya Basin.
The coolest one I saw was actually for some friends of mine. Their wedding, they had their cake was a wine bottle.
Oh wow, yeah,
and they had that, and then they had just it was a wine bottle and a barrel. And that was their cake. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
Looked real.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. They look absolutely real. I've seen some pretty neat ones too. And believe it or not, in my world, we pay attention to like social media trends and what photos do better than others and things like that. And cake photos in particular, oh my gosh, they'll get more interaction than anything else on Facebook or on Instagram or any of it. Yeah, it really is. And the great thing about your business, though, is you're sitting here and you're telling me all this, and we'll go back to the lighting for a second. The best thing about hiring you to do it and me not doing it is you pick it up after. I don't have to do that, right? After a party, you're taking your lighting back.
Right. Yes. I'm picking up my stuff and it's coming with me.
Yeah.
And party planners, wedding planners, they do that as well. They make sure that everything's cleaned up after, and you just get to go home and.
Yeah, it sounds like, you may not think that's a big deal, but that's huge. I mean, I've been in some situations, even with birthday parties. I remember, for example, I hired one of them spacewalks, got one of them spacewalk things, and it was like $30 cheaper if you went and got it and then brought it back. So I'm like, I'm saving the $30. I brought it home, I set it up, and it was fine setting it up. It was kind of a pain in the butt, but taking it down, packing it up, it'd have been worth $100 to get somebody else to do that. And that was after a party. So who feels like doing it?
Right. And and that's the birthday party deal as well. When we were growing up, you had a cake and cups at your mom's house and blew out the candles, and that was it.
That was it.
Mom's cleaning up all the paper cups and all the paper plates. And now you can have it at a jump park or rent out a venue, and you just blow out your candles, open some presents, and you're done.
Yeah.
And long gone are the days of picking up.
Well, you got that right. And speaking of venues, I'm glad you brought that up. So if someone, I'm sure there's people out there, you probably get these calls all the time where they have no idea really where to start. They know that they have a 50th anniversary coming, and they know, maybe it's the husband and he's got to make a big deal for, he wants to make a big deal for the wife.
Sure.
And it is a big deal. It's a landmark moment, but they have no idea where to start. They don't even know where to call a venue or what venue they need. Is this something that if they reached out to you guys, you could say, hey, I'm going to take you by the hand here, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to pull this off?
Absolutely. We do go step by step in that process as well of budgets. Budgets are your key to how big you can get.
Yeah.
You have an unlimited budget. Well, I got the venue for you.
Yeah.
But you say you want something small and intimate, and you have a $5,000 budget, and you want DJ lighting in a photo booth, then I have a venue for you.
Yeah.
And we work with a bunch of different venues. We have our favorites.
Yeah.
But we work with a lot of different venues for those specific opportunities of large budget, small budgets.
Yeah, very good. And another great point you bring up is know where you kind of want to be, maybe even before you make the call, because it's kind of like if you're shopping for a house. If you go to a realtor and you say, I'm looking for a house, and they're like, well, how much where are you looking to be? How many square feet and how much money? And you're just like, oh, I just want the best looking house I can find, for as little money as I have to pay. And there's no way to start you anywhere. You've got to know, you got to have a starting point there.
Right. And that's the frustration. So we use a lot of social media. We use Facebook for a good bit of bookings. There's some bridal groups that we're in and some party groups that we're in. And people are so ambiguous about it. Oh, I'm looking for a DJ, but I don't want to spend an arm and a leg. Well, my arm's going to cost a lot more than your arm. So what's your budget?
That's right.
Because I'll throw in my price and well, that's too expensive. Well,
my brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere, And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Tell me your price and I wouldn't have wasted my time.
Yeah.
So just come in knowing what you're going to spend and have a little flexibility to work with. You know, like you said, you want a 4-bedroom house in Roseanne, you're going to spend X amount. You want a 4-bedroom house in Denham, you're going to spend a different amount.
Yeah.
So just have that flexibility on where you want to be.
That's right. And I can use the example of my wife will go grocery shopping. She'll get home and spend $250, and I open up the fridge and I'm like, "Did you go grocery shopping?" And she's like, "Yeah." And it's $250, and I'm like, "Where is it? Where is it? There's nothing in here." Oh, we got a roast in there and some eggs, and but
eggs.
My point to all that is this. People remember what something cost when they got married, and totally get their mind blown at what things cost now. It's just different. It's a different world. Not that it's, I'm sure you can be very budget friendly in some cases, but have an idea of how much a cake costs nowadays versus them, for example.
Right. And being the owner of Go Big, I can work with brides. We do have a set price, but if a bride comes in like, "Hey, look, this is the only day we can do it. My fiance's in the military. He's coming in. Here's my budget." I'll work with them. We do work with a lot of people, a lot of different budgets. I'm obviously not going to go broke on it, but we do, especially if we don't have anything on a weekend, which is very rare, or I have, I got 4 guys that work for me. So we do have multiple DJs as well, including myself. So if somebody's not busy, we can work with that. If we do have an open spot, we can, maybe come to terms somewhere.
Sure. Yeah. And let me ask you this. How important are reviews to your business?
They're worth their weight in gold.
Yeah.
Reviews, we've grown by word of mouth. We don't do any advertising. We have a website and a couple of Facebook groups where I'll sit and just kind of try and drum up business of people looking. People say, "I'm looking for a DJ," and I'll say, "Hey, we're available."
Yeah.
But reviews are what keep us going. The good little Google spiders really like those reviews on Google and on Facebook as well to help promote us and get us out there. And when you, in your search bar, search for Baton Rouge or Livingston Parish DJs, those reviews really come into play, especially when a bride will say, or whoever booked the party, Go Big Entertainment did my party at this venue in this town, and it really kind of helps. But reviews are worth their weight in gold. People really do pay attention to those and read those, and we've maintained that 5-star rating on Facebook and on
That's
Google.
amazing in your business. It really is, because you can't, it's an old cliche-ish saying, but they say you can't please everybody. And it really is hard. We are all human beings. We're all different. We tick differently. What sets me off might not set this person off. And so to navigate that, and I was in the retail business for a long time, and I dealt with all types, right? And the hardest thing to do was satisfy everybody. It's almost impossible.
It is. We're not. We do have our hiccups.
Yeah, sure.
But we overcome those, and we make everything right, and we keep everybody happy.
Yeah, and it's a good rule of thumb, folks, that before you go leave a negative review on anybody, and it speaks to the quality of what you do, that you've been able to maintain 5-star reviews in an entertainment business is just amazing to me. But before you do that on any business, give them a chance to try to fix it. Yeah. Because you can literally ruin someone's business by just, being aggravated about something that they knew nothing about. Maybe they didn't know, that occurred, whatever it is that upsets you. So that's a soapbox of mine I get on sometimes, because I feel like it's too easy to slam people in their business nowadays.
It is
simple.
And they got the meme that runs all over everywhere is, you buy a pair of Nikes and they might fall apart in 2 weeks, but you're going to buy another pair of Nikes.
That's right. Isn't it?
And as a small business owner, we mess up one time and we're canceled.
Yeah, I know it. And so congratulations to y'all for being able to do that. And if you've used their business, Go Big, and you've been happy with it and you hadn't left a review, Make sure you go
Please.
leave one.
Yes,
It's very,
please.
very important, especially with those Google rankings, folks. When you're in an industry where there's several competitors, you always want to be at the top there because people's human nature is just to click the first one they see.
And there are a lot out here, Baton Rouge, and the area is not short of on DJs.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about how you stand out in your business from an aspect of, we've already discussed the people that, these partners that you work with, you vet those. That's very important. The speed in which you're able to do something, it's obviously reasonable, but you want people to understand that, if you're having a wedding next week, it'd be real hard to take care of you. You may still call, you never know, but
I mean, we could get it done. It's not the touch I'd like to have, just because, like I said, I like to develop that relationship, and I really feel that does set us apart of doing either our Zoom calls or our in-person meetings, but really going through that step-by-step process that really make it your personalized day.
Yeah.
That really help us to build that playlist, because after we get off the sheet, it's dealer's choice.
Yeah.
I have to know what to play to get the party going, to get people on the dance floor. So really developing that personal
You're going to hear a lot of Led Zeppelin, in other words.
Really kind of knowing who I'm playing for, is grandma going to be there? How many kids are going to be there? I got the dubstep Baby Shark. I can play that too. Yeah. So just kind of knowing where I'm going and really building that roadmap in my head from knowing the couple or knowing the client that I'm playing for.
Very good. Very good. Now, what would you say is something in your business that people may not understand? Just what's something that's hard to get them to kind of grasp?
Just the time
that
it takes.
Nobody's patient anymore. That's for sure.
No one is
me
patient.
included.
We had a wedding a while back, and I keep referring to weddings. We do probably 80% of our business is weddings.
Yeah.
But we did a wedding a while back where literally the morning of the wedding, the bride was changing music. And for us to work on the fly like that is almost impossible.
Yeah.
Because we've downloaded the music that you have. We have it set in a playlist, X, Y, and Z in the order that it's going to go to. And then now you're asking for even something you saw on TikTok this morning that we haven't downloaded. Your venue is in a very secluded area with no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of at a loss. So now you're at the what's the word I'm looking for? The mercy.
I was thinking that word. I wasn't going to say it, but you're
at the mercy of technology, because now I got to try and download your song, turn it into the format that I need to play it on my board, and get it into my application and then play it. So we were playing it, and I was working off of Wi-Fi on my phone of a hotspot, and we lost service, and it ended in the middle of a song. She got a little upset, but I was like, "You changed this the morning of." When I got here, you changed music.
And people don't understand that it's not as simple as, just like typing a song in and boof, it appears. This is all done in advance.
We're not streaming on Spotify. We are not a streaming service. We can't type in your song and it automatically play. We're downloading music. We're actually paying to download music.
Yeah.
And then we have to put it in a format that's going to play on our DJ software that's able to be played on the board. So it's a process to get that. And then requests, people will come up and they'll make a request. You're in the middle and, can you play this? Well, I have it, but I already have my beats set up that are going to flow together.
Yeah.
And give me a second, I'll get to it. And they get mad when it's not the next song up. It doesn't work like that.
Right. Yeah.
Or
they don't. Yeah. They're thinking they're on their cell phone. They can do it in 2 seconds.
Right. Or they'll make a request that's totally not fitting the vibe. The bride's on the dance floor and getting to it and shaking it. And can you play some Keith Whitley? No, sir, but thanks for asking.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be a little bit different for what she's vibing with right now.
Just read the room, guys. Read the room.
Read the room. Now, let's talk about leadership for a second, because one thing that's unique with you that I find is that you not only deal with a lot of just people in general, just the general public that is calling you for services, but you have a vast array of partners that you deal with, and you're also negotiating with them, talking with them, making sure they're where they should be, and all those sorts of things. And that takes a leader to be able to navigate all of that. So how would you define like a good leader, someone that you look for those skills in?
Someone that listens.
Yeah.
This business is all about listening. You're going to tell me everything I need to know, whether you know it or not. Because I'm going to ask an open-ended question, and you're going to tell me through answering that question a lot of information. So it's about listening, knowing your needs, knowing your wants, and exceeding those expectations.
Yeah. Exceeding, a very good point. Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do.
You're not striving to meet. You want to exceed and give them more than what they paid for.
So it's about listening to them and knowing, really what their vision is for that event.
Yep.
Do you want a low-key event and end it quietly? Do you want a high-energy event and get everybody up and rolling? Do you want a modern event decor-wise? Do you want an old-fashioned boho, whatever kind of style you want? It's just really about listening to the client and knowing their needs, and then taking that information and going to your partners and saying, this is what I need. This is what I need. Here's my budget. So it's really about listening to the client and then disseminating that information effectively.
And it's really a great thing because if you're trying to we'll use weddings because that's a big part of your business. But if you're using 20 different people, and I'm talking from the father of the bride's perspective, and you're like, I'm going to save some money, and I'm going to go out here and I'm going to hire a DJ, and I'm going to hire a flower person, and it can't be that hard. And here's the problem. Here's the issue. Number one, you ain't got no time to be worried about that because your daughter's getting married. Worry about that. But number two, I can't tell you how hard that is to manage, because it's not as simple as I'm hiring this person to do the flowers and then it's a done deal. There is a lot involved in setting all of that up that an event person like Go Big, they do that for you. You don't have that worry.
Right.
Especially during the event, which is the day you don't want to have to worry about it, right?
Right. Knowing how many tables you're going to decorate, knowing how many people are going to be there, how many plates you need, everything from catering questions, decorating questions. There's a lot of the saying, I'm having a wedding, can you show up?
Yeah. You're a project manager in that business, essentially.
And that's why I love my planners. My wedding planners go above and beyond and make sure that all those questions are answered to take as much weight off the client's shoulders, whether it's your corporate Christmas party, whether it's your wedding, your birthday, whatever. I want you, if you're booking us, I want you to enjoy your time and not have to worry about, oh my gosh, is there a cake cutter?
Yeah.
Do I have a serving knife?
Right. Oh, good point. The little things.
The little things, and that's what we're here for. And all our partners as well know about the little things, because that's what makes it matter.
Right. And so, let me ask you this: you mentioned in 2022 you had a phenomenal year, 100+ events. What do you think spurred that?
So, COVID was the mother of all side businesses and killed a lot of other businesses.
Yeah.
And
it's a great way of putting that.
So when 21 was sticking the toe in the water, to seeing how it feels. There was a couple of venues that just really were like, we're tired of being inside. We're ready to kind of open our doors. We had people that wanted to party because they were being tired of stuck indoors.
Yeah.
And 22, I think just the floodgates opened. And everybody was ready to book and tired of, a lot of the venues were from 21 were booked. And then 22 was the first year really that they had a normal year of open bookings, because everybody from that got deferred in COVID did it in the latter of 21 and early 22.
Yeah.
So they finally had open dates and everybody was just clamoring to get out and to get their events done. We got out there and we did a little bit of word of mouth, and we have a lot of friends and family out here that were like, hey, call Jordan, call Go Big.
Yeah.
And
that's a blessing, isn't it?
We got a good lion's share of things.
How important is word of mouth, like what you just mentioned?
Oh,
huge, isn't it?
It's huge. It is. And we do some really big events, and it's like, oh, I saw these guys, they played at my Christmas party. you need to call them. So we get out there, and everybody that we book at, we post on Facebook, thank you for booking us for this party. And then our photo booths, we have our website at the top of that's printed. So we're always leaving little reminders here and there, little Easter eggs.
Yeah, very good. And you just mentioned some bigger events, and let's talk about some of the larger. One thing I want all of you to grasp is, they can do events, just normal size events, all the way up to, you name it, corporate events where there's 300 people there or 1,000 people there, you name it. Give me a kind of I know you mentioned some of the bigger companies that I know D.R. Horton was one.
Yeah. So we did D.R. Horton, and that was in LaBerge. They took up 2 of their big conference rooms upstairs where they have their concerts. We were on stage, had the full lighting package. They actually brought in a lighting guy from LaBerge to run the lighting on the stage, plus our up lighting and plus our dance floor lighting. That was probably our biggest event last year, head count wise.
Yeah.
But we've done Christmas parties and corporate parties for GSRC, Gulf South Restoration. We've done, I think we did 4 engineering firms last year for Christmas parties.
Yeah.
It was the year for engineering.
Yeah. And is Christmas like a big time for y'all? Is that busy as far as Christmas parties and things of that nature?
November and December, we probably did 35 events, if not 40.
Wow. Never would have guessed that many.
Between and the weddings dropped off.
Yeah.
So
it's perfect timing.
Right. So that, we probably did 10 weddings and then 25 Christmas parties.
Oh, wow.
We did BR Oral Surgeons. That was awesome. That was a really good time.
Nothing like partying with a bunch of oral surgeons.
Yeah.
I can only imagine they can get down.
Look, and they have a young, vibrant staff, and and it was a good time.
Very good. And now, in Mardi Gras, obviously, probably a big time for
Mardi Gras is a good time as well. We do a couple of Mardi Gras balls, photo booths, and DJing. We do Mardi Gras floats, parade floats.
Oh, okay. There's something you wouldn't think.
Yeah. We do parade floats. I love
decorating them. You're talking, or
no? We just play on them.
Just play on them.
We don't decorate those.
No decorate.
Call Blaine Kern.
We've done a couple of decorating for Marty, and they're no fun.
So no, but we'll set up on the floats. We'll put speakers out there for you, and we'll DJ the floats. So we're doing one in Spanish Town, and then we do the Metairie St. Patty's Day Parade.
Oh, very good.
We got a couple floats in there that we set up on and play music for, and that's a good time. That's probably one of the funner ones.
Yeah.
We've been with them for a couple of years now, and it's a good crew, good crowd to ride with on the St. Patty's floats.
Oh, good. Yeah, I can imagine that is fun to ride with those guys and gals. So how important, let's talk social media for a minute.
Okay.
And this is something that, I know a little bit about, and I have seen kind of the advent of, from the beginning to now, of how social media really went from a way for you to keep track of your family and friends and stay in touch to a business platform.
Yes.
And now if you don't have a Facebook page and an Instagram and you have any business, I don't care what it is, you're missing a boat.
So, we started on Facebook. We got, obviously we built our home website, and then we built our Facebook page, and we do a lot of posts on there. And then we started migrating into Instagram. But Instagram, you can post your reels and you can post live videos and a lot of just pictures as well. But now what we're seeing is an uptick in your TikToks and your other,
which I fought forever, incidentally.
I'm still not on TikTok. I am not tech savvy enough to do that. But it's, apparently I'm not as immediately witty and funny either to set all that up.
I don't know. You're pretty funny. Pretty witty.
But it's, people are finding their DJs or their event planners or their cakes on TikTok and on Instagram. So now we're kind of having to look at, we're still using our bridal forums and bridal groups on Facebook, but now is getting into the notoriety and getting it ranked on TikTok and Instagram of getting up there and knowing the right hashtag to be searched for.
Tagging's huge. And so you're right. You're absolutely correct on that. And social media for your business, as far as just posting pictures of your events, letting people know what's out there. It's really an advantage to both parties. You're able to get, Go Big out there into the world. And then at the same token, people can see pictures of what you do. Right. And, hey, here's the advantage of uplighting, for this event.
Right.
And things like that, that's probably the last thing people think of. Most people is the lighting aspect of an event. And it plays a big role.
Well, and a lot of people, when you say uplighting, the younger crowd has no clue what that is.
Yeah.
So you send pictures and like, oh my gosh, yes, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and it helps with the tagging as well. Someone I don't even know, but I played at their third cousin's wedding and they were there. Oh, Go Big did this wedding, and they'll tag you in, and then you have no clue who this person is, but it's that word of mouth, back to that word of mouth.
That's right.
But it does allow us to post pictures of what we've done. We'll tag the bride, and 300, 400 people that were either at the wedding or know the bride and couldn't make it or whatever, see that was the DJ that was there when the bride's like, oh my gosh, we had so much fun.
Yeah.
It's just another way of kind of getting our name out there.
Very good. Now, we talked about that, and we want to shout out your social media.
Correct.
And so let's give them. They've heard this. They've listened to the whole podcast, and they're like, "Yeah, I want Go Big to do everything for me. I don't ever want to plan anything in my life again." How would they find you on social media?
So our home website is go-big.com, GEAUX, of course.
Yep.
So go-big.com is our home website. You can find tons of pictures, and you can inquire on there as well, and also see our preferred partners.
Yeah, huge thing.
On Facebook, it's facebook.com/GoBig225.
There you go.
Which you'll see more of our reviews on there. You'll see all the weddings that we've recently done, tagged pictures, and all our social media. And we're on Facebook, Instagram, and we're not doing TikTok.
Yeah, not yet anyway. Now, let me ask you, let's say someone is interested. Would they just shoot you a message through social? Is that the best way to do it?
Yeah, so they can.
Or through your website?
Through the website, they click contact us, and it sends me an email. They'll fill out their information, or Facebook, shoot us a message on there as well. Also, what we're going to do is anyone that mentions this podcast, we'll give a $100 discount to any package.
I'm saving y'all money already. So $100 off. Just mention that you watched this or listened to this podcast, Local Leaders, and you'll save $100 off. And so let me also ask you, and incidentally, I'm going to tag all of that in the description, y'all. So if you're driving right now and you're like, I can't write down a website, I'm driving, no worries. Wait till you get where you're going. Don't crash or anything like that. And then go down, and you'll be able to click in that description. It'll bring you right to the website for Go Big, and I'll have the social media links as well. So maybe you check out pictures. And they do it all, y'all. It doesn't matter if you're planning a wedding, you need a DJ for a Mardi Gras float, you're planning a corporate event, a birthday, sweet 16s, all those sorts of things. They got what you need. They know a guy.
I know a guy.
He definitely knows a guy. And do you have a slogan?
Go big or go home.
That's right. And I knew that, y'all. It's just a great slogan. And so go big or go home with Go Big Entertainment. They will take care of you, treat you right. And of course, those 5-star reviews that are all over social media and all over Google prove it. So we're going to ask you, in our show, we like to do fun facts. Kind of gives people a little fun aspect of you outside of your business. And so I came up with 4 of them for you. And so I'm going to ask you first, what was your dream job when you were 12?
I wanted to be an astronaut.
Astronaut. Love it.
Yeah. I still have a fascination with the cosmos and the galaxies and stars in the sky. Started out college actually in astrophysics.
No kid. Astrophysics.
Yeah.
Look at the big brain on you. I never thought I'd be an astrophysicist.
Yeah.
Maybe when I was 6. I don't know.
So that's what I wanted to do. And, God had other plans and rerouted me and graduated in business marketing.
There you go. So if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation, because traffic sucks.
Yeah. You are not the only person to choose that either, by the way. A lot of people like that. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Everywhere.
You like to travel?
I love to travel. I've been to 12 countries and 41 of the 50 states.
Oh, wow. 41 of the 50 states?
41
That's
of the 50
impressive.
states. So I guess bucket list right now, I'll probably do, right now I'm looking at Prague, Estonia, Romania.
Oh, that would be beautiful. Prague would be
that old Eastern Bloc.
Yeah.
And then I had a buddy of mine just got back from Egypt, and I'm kind of jealous.
Oh, yeah?
He did Egypt and Greece, and I was like, God.
I got a guy that just did this show that actually spent like 2 months in Egypt.
Oh.
I'm like, it must be beautiful. Yeah.
My phone didn't ring, so I'm kind of mad at him.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Go to Egypt and not invite. Can't do that. If you purchased a yacht, what would you name it?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's always the one people are like,
Sound of the Sea.
Love it. Sound of the Sea.
Actually, go big. I don't know.
That's it. I like either one sounds
Either
good.
one.
Yeah, so very good. We loved having you on. I think we covered a lot of what y'all do at Go Big, but you know what, folks? The proof's in the pudding, and when you see their work, you will be happy with it. I promise you that.
And if we didn't talk about it, we're open to doing it. Have party, will travel. Whether
That's right. That's right.
I want to. We can do divorce parties.
Divorce party, something that's big right now.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
It's just all that. But if you need music for it and you don't want to Bluetooth to a speaker, we got you covered.
Well, thank you for coming on. We've been going 55 minutes right now. So I think we killed it. We appreciate every one of you for listening, subscribing, sharing, and most importantly, doing business with the people that we have on Local Leaders of Podcast. Y'all always make us look good and feel good. Please continue to share this podcast with all your friends. It's the only way we're going to get that word out, y'all, and compete with these large corporations that we have to compete with every day. So until next time, I'm Jim Chapman reminding you, love your community, support local business just like Go Big, and keep leading. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.